All right, I'm going to jump in here. It's been a long time. Um, I'm trying to redo this, and this has just been glorious. A pain in the butt. I use that new paint, not new, but it's a paint from Tamiya, the XF, I guess 88. The 88's a great color. I love the color to it. That ain't their brown. I had already painted that was their browns on there, but instead of repainting the whole vehicle again, I kind of mixed up a slurry of garbage and painted it. Now, browns just to give me some kind of a camo. Now, I tried to copy a photo for this elephant, and all you really get is this side of it, and just a little bit of that piece. This bright light. I need to dim that down. Anyway, so most of this is just guesswork. I was trying to do a printout and then lay it out, and the ones that I kept coming up with were just horrible. So I freehanded the rest of it and just come up with my own. I've copied as much as I could, and this is what I came up with. I kind of like it. I'll have to tell you, I'm not. I like the green, but the Tamiya brown, I think it's of 90, is not that great. It's such a weird brown. It's a color that I don't know. I'm just not sure about it. Anyway, so this is where this is at. I have my diorama over here where I'm working on it. The Brumbar, I've literally painted over so many times. I hate every camouflage I've added to it. Just they're horrendous. I can't stand them. So that's where I'm at with that. I broke my glasses, so I'm damn near blind up close. I have some heavy, I don't know, stuff I can use, and I went out and I went to Walmart and I bought me a set of these blind as a bat things, and these aren't any better than just my eyeballs. I can see fine far away, but up close it's just terrible. Anyway, so this is where this is at. Kind of fun build. Brett is doing a build with the one Rommel's half track, and I was gonna show you. I got this from a guy I've known years ago. Unfortunately, most of us are all fading away. But anyway, he just didn't want to build this anymore, so he sent me this, and I sent him a kit. And this is where I'm at. Brett got me all hard-nosed wanting to get it done, so I built the lower chassis, and this is all resin, and I'm using the resin parts, and there's doors and all of that. But I wanted to show you is just because you have these kits and they're resin, tell me if you can guess what the problem is with this kit. I don't know if you can even see that. Yeah. If you look closely, I had to literally saw. This is where it's set usually. And this is where the kit, even when I cut, because you have to cut this out. You have to cut this down to make this fit. And all this comes to kit parts. I got so many parts, it's not even funny. And I had to saw this down just to make this meet close enough to get it there. So once I get this top glued down, I can marry this back up and put filler. You're not going to see it anyway because of this. This is the glories of working with models. You can hide half of your garbage. the tracks in the kit blow, but luckily I tear down my old kits. They get to be a pain, just sitting on a shelf, and they take up so much room, and if I put anything else up there, it's destroyed. So yeah, I might put these on here. I still might just use the regular tracks. I don't know. I just might do it anyway, because I'm a retarded person when it comes to, when I build a diorama, for some reason I have to have the same kit on the diorama. Okay, I don't know if that makes sense. Like, if it's a Tamiya, I want Tamiya on the diorama. If it's a dragon, I want dragon on the diorama. Now, figures are hard to do with, because, let's face it, Tamiya is starting to do a lot better on their figures, believe it, but their figures just are terrible. So you usually have to go to outsource them out with dragon figures or mini art, things of that nature, to come up with figures that'll work. But this is Tamiya, and I'm going to use this one for my Tamiya Stug B, for a loading vehicle. I don't know if I'm going to leave the fenders off. There's a photo of one riding by that the fender is completely missing. If I do, I have to erase this. This has to come off. And then just build the front part. This is all resin, so then I'll just put the other side. I'll have to cut it off right here and remove this and leave the running gear out. If I do that, then I'll have to use this, because these will stand out like a sore thumb if I use the regular kit tracks, because they're not really that great viewing. But anyway, that's where this is at. That's what I'm working on there. I was going to do a video. I don't know, nobody watches me, but I was going to show guys, when you're making this stuff, when you're building this, if you notice, oh, that's one of my Father's Day gifts. Check it out. This here, great stuff. This is one of my Father's Day gifts. Can you see that? Yeah, that ring. I have I got the Hummel. I've got a Hetzer, all Tamiya. I'm getting older, and I'm reverting back to my childhood. So yeah. But anyway, this is I'm doing a Africa Core diorama, and I'm using them all. Like, I do little updates, like I'm carving out the handles. I don't know if you can see that. I'm carving out the handles so they'll look, instead of like a blob, you can actually grind those out with a X-Acto blade and cut those out to open them up to make them look like that. Now, you're kind of hard to do it on the inside. Do it before you put the doors on, you're good to go. But unfortunately, I was stupid and didn't. Anyway, I was going to do a video. If you see these, the kit parts of the canvas covers and things like that, they're horrendous. They don't meet the vehicle. There's always gaps, or they look retarded on this side like this, or on here where they don't touch. Now, oh yeah, and I put those on there. I need to put photo etch, but forget it. That's another story. Anyway, so what I do when I'm working on these things is I make sure I drop this, and it's for my thing. But if you notice, I'll add Aves epoxy on the ends to close off these sections, and I make them fit, and I put just a little more texturing in them, and I make the backs connect to the chassis. It's just pushed up in there, but because I can't stand, they're supposed to be connecting, and I'm talking everything that I do. So like, these fit good. These were fine. All of his stuff, really meets up that I don't have to hardly do any work at all. But there again, if you look at, and if you want to marry different items to a kit, for like, this is for my Africa Core build too, this didn't fit there. So, and there's things in the way that I drill them out. I'll take a drill, like if there's a hinge, but I want a bag to sit over it, I'll drill out a little bitty hole in the bag to set it over like, because there's hinges, and then like there's this piece that's under this. I carve this off to fit. Like I cut this down just to fit over this grate. Then I put the epoxy putty and I use a paintbrush to wet it down to make it, force it to fit and match, to look like it was actually just fell over the top of it and lays down on it. This one I didn't have to do, and this one I didn't have to do, but I did have to cut it out. If you notice, I had to cut the parts to fit like they were sitting on top of or pushed up into that. This one I did the same thing. I cut the backside off of here to make it fit into this frame, like it was shoved against there and tied down. I scratch build that, and I did this. This is with the kit. This is a kit part that I did that too, and added aves to it and a little bit to the bottom. I had to redo it because I was wanting to add this. So this was an afterthought, afterbirth. That. And anyway, I'm putting people to sleep. And I did that with this. All of this on here is connected to it. Like I have belt buckles and straps and belts and helmets, but I put things, I make sure that when you throw stuff on there, they look like they've been married to it. Like this was a bag. You probably can't even see half of this. The hooks on here were broken. I needed to hide this. So I made this and put this on the front and put that on there. And then I put this isn't a full tow cable. But I hid it. I drilled out holes and I cut an old piece of the wiring that I had and shoved it up in there to make it look like it was like laid up underneath this. That's where that's at. Anyway, I wasn't going to show anybody this because also what I got is cobblestone. I have 2 of these to make cobblestone roads. I'll show you this. Sorry. This is my insane piece that I'm trying to do. This will be my 50th attempt to get this done. I've been working on this about a year. This is for my Anzio build, and this is where the elephant. This one isn't going on there. That one's another one. Here's the one that's going to go on with the elephant there. Like I said, I've painted it so many times. It's just a piece on the back of the fender I put on there, or the Schutzen. Okay, so I guess everybody's good and bored, but yeah, this is going to be my really hard job, and that's all of these are all going to be married onto my Africa Core diorama. So this is babbling on too long. I have another kit I was going to show you, but anyway, everybody have a good one. Talk to y'all later. Well,